Hi y'all, welcome back to my shop. I've had some feedback. Y'all are interested in a natural edge bowl, so I'm going to do another one. Basically, I'm going to turn this natural edge winged bowl. This I already used the other half. Like I say, I lost due to technical difficulties, I lost the footage. So we're going to start all over again with this one. This is a piece of cherry, and to figure out where the bowl's going to go, I use a template. So I just take these bowl cutting blanks templates and just locate them on here where I feel like I get nice crap. This way these magnets are really nice. Okay. I've retrieved my awl. So I'm going to situate this where I've got an even space on each side for the wing of the bowl, because I'm going to have the wing projecting through. There's some cracking on this cherry, and this is the same cherry tree that I had my disastrous cremation urn split on me, and the other half of this did some splitting. So I'm going to turn this one a little bit thinner, and we'll cut away some of this splitting. So I'm going to use a screw chuck, because I find that's the easiest way to mount this initially, where I'm not going to be changing the orientation. So I've got it marked. I'm going to go with a drill press, put a 5/16 inch drill bit, and we're just going to go ahead and mount it on a woodworm screw. So I'm going to use my power grip, my Nova Titan chuck, because it's got a large surface for the woodworm screw. I've noticed that Technitool is just come out with another version of their Titan that has the old three screw mounting system. It went out of production when they went from New Zealand to China for production, and when they put it back in production, they came out with the one with roughly the same size. I think it was the same size chuck, but they did away with an extra screw hole, so they'd use all the standard Nova jaw accessories. The third screw, frankly, I don't think it adds a whole lot, but that power grip jaws they have is a little bit larger. So, as you know, when I use a woodworm screw, I always put on a little bit of paraffin, make it a little easier to screw off. So we're going to take this and just mount it on here like this. Just screw it on. I'm just keeping it parallel. Okay. Now we can tell it's definitely going to be off balance. I'm going to go ahead and bring up the tailstock support for as long as possible while we shape the undersides and the bowl and the tenon. 125 to 3200, and the other one's from 50 to 1200. Alright, so we've got that there. Let me get my face shield and we'll get going. Okay, the first thing I like to do is go ahead and reduce some of that off-balance weight. So I'm going to tackle that first by just coming out here and getting rid of a little wood. Alright, we're going to stand aside, got the lathe turned all the way down. Slowly turn it up. They got it up to about 400. I'm going to step out of the way, come in here and just use my 5/8 inch gouge and just come in there and start getting rid of some of this wood out the edge. Okay, lopped off a little bit. It's still top heavy, but not as bad as it was. Still got to remove some more. loosen that weight on the off balance. Now this is quite a propeller. It could do some serious damage if you get a finger over there. So everything, all the meat staying on this side of the tool rest. Still got a good ways to go. Okay, I'm going to come out here and get just a little bit more wing. Okay, definitely more in balance. Now, still got to work on the bottom of the bowl. I think I'm going to get this edge first before I come in here and deal with that. Over here, get rid of this nub so I can go ahead and flatten the bottom. Use the tool rest just a little bit. I'm coming straight in. So I'm using my go no-go gauge. So basically it's right to get outside that line right there. I need to mark that indentation while I remember. I don't want to forget. And I want that extra margin of safety of having tailstock support. Because this is pretty large. Still an unbalanced piece. Now, I think I'm going to switch to a little smaller bowl gouge to cut that tenon. Come in there and try to cut my dovetail. That chuck. It's biting me. I think I still got some of that. I think I'm dealing with. Okay, so I've still got this bark I need to cut away. I'm going to go ahead and do that. Lining this up, the tool rest perpendicular so I can get a nice flat cut. see if I can speed it up just a bit. Okay, that's up to about 630. That's a bit of an improvement. Okay, it's looking fairly flat. Still got some more in here. It's a little thick. Bowl shape's looking pretty good. Alright. Gonna take one final pass on that bowl shape before I roll it over. This is very small, 3/8 inch bowl gouge, and I'm going to do a push cut and pick it up and see. I'm not going to extend off tool rest very far. I'm just going to go to that outer edge. Let's see what we can do. That's better. Okay, now we're going to pick up. We're going to turn this thing around, and I'm just going to pick up with the footage from the other blank, and while I continue on this, because I've already filmed working on the other side. I'm looking straight down here, and I'm looking for where the wall of the bowl is going to penetrate through the face of the wing, because that's just the design I like. So I'm going to cut the outside of this first before I worry about doing the bowl. I want to leave as much mass in the middle, so I'm going to start this cut right here on this line and bring out those wings. And with a 60-degree cone, it'll fill that hole up and just provide some nice support. I'm up to 630. That's about as fast as I care to go. Standing well behind, using my right hand for this push cut. I'm standing out of the line of fire. Roll this over and see if I can. I'm using my hand in here against this tool rest to keep it perpendicular. It's looking good. I got this bad crack I've got to get through, but that crack's still going to be there. It won't go all the way through, but it's going to cause me problems. Okay, now I can go ahead, and I have to go ahead and move the tailstock support, and I'm going to go ahead and move this down to the end of the lathe. I've got the tailstock out of the way, so I can turn to the end of the lathe. I'm going to just clean off. I'll put on a little WD-40 just to keep this a little bit cleaner with all this wet cherry shavings, make it slide a little easier. Release the lock. Slide this forward. Very nice feature I like about this lathe. Sliding headstock. Okay, now we're ready to start hollowing. Using a 1/2 inch v-gouge. Again, speed's around 700. Alright, coming in at 90 degrees. I'm not going to go down more than about a 3/4 of an inch at most at one time. Alright, turn that bevel in, point it in. It doesn't skate on you. Now the first one I turned it just a little bit too thick. Too thick in the bottom, too thick here, too thick here. I'm going to thin this one out a little bit and hopefully it won't crack as much. I'll show you a close up of that one later. Now come back in. Okay. Lower that tool rest just a bit. Just a tiny bit. Getting a lot of end grain here. Very hard coming across. Alright, let the wood come to the gouge. Don't press too hard, too fast. Just let it cut. Alright, let's see how we're doing. I'm going to switch to this this Doug Thompson 1/2 inch U-shape that I've ground fairly flat. It's kind of a bottom feeder. Okay, got a little ripple here, transition, a little ripple there. Let's check the bowl depth, make sure I'm not going too far here. Don't want to make the inside bigger than the outside. And so far that's looking not a lot of margin for error, so don't want to mess with that. This is good right here. Gets a little thicker down near the bottom as I'd expect. I need to thin that out just a bit from here to here. Here to there. Tool rest needs to drop down just a bit. Still got a bit of a ripple. And I think I'm going to try to attempt to get that out with a scraper. Alright, let me see if I can show you just a little of that. This is a new scraper for me. Just cutting the ripples, not removing any wood, just trying to get rid of tool marks. Smooth the transition.
Hey, if you like this, go ahead and click on the like button and feel free to leave a comment. I release a new tip video every Tuesday and a longer project video every Friday, so y'all come back here.